All right, so here is the absence video for Thursday, January 26th. If you would go to Socrative.com and go take the formative for Chapter 16. Edmondson 8 is the room number. So Socrative.com, Edmondson 8, take that quiz. You can pause this while you do that. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to start your muckraking articles so you can start getting ready for your assessment, which these are due next Tuesday beginning of class. So you've already done the Socrative quiz. We're going to talk about the topics, then we'll start working on the paragraphs. So I want you to write these down in your notebook, please. This is a checklist for all of your articles. Really, they're 4 paragraphs, not articles, but we're going to call them muckraking articles for the sake of argument. First thing you'll do is hook the reader, and you've already practiced this at the beginning of the chapter. We looked at this picture and wrote headlines and captions to go with it. That's essentially what a hook is. You're going to write an interesting headline and then a first sentence to really grab the reader's attention and get them to want to read your article. So here's my example that I had before, and you've already done this as well as a practice. Next thing you'll do is introduce the topic. Whatever the topic is, you'll have to, after you hook the reader, you'll have to let them know what it is you're talking about. Then the next 3, primary source quotes, photo inferences and observations, and textbook information. I don't care what order you do those in or how you sprinkle those through, but all of that stuff you did in the field sites and the textbook, that's all information that needs to be in your paragraph, in your article. And then finally, compelling language to make people want to cause change. So you're going to be really vivid and dramatic with the words you use in your paragraphs, just to make people want to do something about it. That's what muckrakers are trying to do. You're going to use your notes from the field site. So if you did those things well, then you're set up to write some really good articles and really good paragraphs. If you did not, you're going to have to go back through Google Classroom and look at the pictures and look at the primary source documents and get back in the textbook and really do the work that you should have done already, which is taking your notes and making your inferences from the pictures and getting your primary source quotes. So that the information is all there. It's just whether or not you got it the first time. So you might have to go back and do that work a second time. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to identify one station from each field site. And if you did your notebook correctly, you've already done this. At the bottom of those first pages, I had you say which one of these problems was the worst. And if you did that, then you've already identified which one you're going to write about. So for field site 1, living and working conditions, your 3 choices were living conditions, working conditions, or unsafe products. Those are all the problems in that field site, and you should have picked one of those. Field site 2, environment, the 3 choices were destroying the landscape, robbing the earth of its natural resources, and then pollution. So whatever one you thought was the worst is the one you should write your paragraph on. Field site 3, politics, there's political machines and bosses, local and state politics, or national politics. It's one of those 3. And then finally, social tensions. Social class was about the differences between the really rich and the really poor. African Americans, that was about, African Americans aren't getting their rights despite the fact that we have the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. They still aren't being allowed to vote. They're being lynched by the hundreds every year. Over the course of 25 years or so, there's in the thousands of African Americans that have been lynched. Women is the third possibility. They're being asked to do more and more outside of the home, get jobs, raise families, those kinds of things, and yet they still don't have the right to vote. So that's an issue. And then the fourth one is families, and families can include child labor, and you should have looked at that primary source photo of the young boy who was a coal miner. It could also, though, include the abuse of alcohol. Alcohol is becoming a real problem in our country with people abusing it and therefore going home and without any money to take care of their family, or going home and abusing their family, those kinds of things. So that's a problem. So you'll pick one of those 4. You should have already picked one of those 4, and that's what you're going to write that paragraph about. Again, you're going to write a headline to start with. It needs to be attention-grabbing and dramatic and vivid and shocking, all of those things, and then you're going to get into your article. And again, the article is really a paragraph with all of those components. Okay, and here's the elements again. Use this checklist as you write your paragraphs. You want to probably just write them on a Google Doc to start with. Just create your own. I'm going to push out the form for you to use to turn in as an assessment I'll push that out Friday or Monday. I'm not sure which yet, but I'll push that out to you. Then you can just submit that. But for now, just create your own Google Doc or write it by hand. I don't care which, and that'll be where you park that. So if you have any questions, watch the video again, or you can ask me. So thank you.